And we're on. Okay, what type of senator would you like representing Connecticut and Washington?
I would like a senator who is more progressive. I don't think that we have a senator right now in Joe Lieberman, my senator from this area, who is responsive to all the people that elected him, and he really doesn't care, what his constituency thinks.
Now, what do you think about Ned Lamont as a candidate?
I think he's not the typical candidate who runs for the U.S. Senate, and I think that's a positive. I think for a person who comes from his upbringing, his educational background, I think he's a very thoughtful person. We made some joke about Mr. Deeds goes to Washington, but this is the kind of guy that we all dream about as the kind of person that we could vote for representing us in Washington.
Okay, now what do you think about Joe Lieberman?
It's only an unfair question in that I've had a couple of occasions where I've tried to get through to him, where he's insulated himself from his constituency. And I think my statement about the way he feels about the Iraq War is that I think he's taken a pompous stance to embrace the president's policies without caring how his constituency feels. That doesn't endear him to people who've been Democrats for over 50 years.
Okay. Now, what do you say to those who say that a Democratic primary is not necessarily a good idea? There's many people who say that Ned Lamont should not be challenging Joe Lieberman because in doing so we jeopardize what many people are calling a safe seat and risking the possibility that a Republican can take the seat in a three-party race.
I don't think we could do any worse than Joe Lieberman. I think that you have a conservative person who voted in heart to endorse conservative judges, to endorse a conservative agenda. I'm not as concerned as some people seem to be about the Senate. I don't think that we'll lose the Senate, but I think right now, if we concentrate, on thinking about getting everybody elected, I think we have a really, really good chance to take the House of Representatives. And I think the House of Representatives right now is much, much more important being in control than being in control of the Senate. Frankly, I would give up the Senate seat to elect 3 Democrats: Joe Courtney, Diane Farrell, and on the coast.
Now, what's the most important issue for people in this area, and how do you think Ned Lamont will do in terms of addressing those concerns?
I think there are probably 3 issues. You have to take into account that Southbury, on a per capita basis, is probably the most heavily populated senior population. So a lot of the things that come out of Southbury are reflective of the senior feeling about politics throughout the state. Number one, we absolutely do not want to see Social Security privatized. Number 2, we want a total revamping of the Medicare Part D prescription benefit. And being a pharmacist, I have firsthand contact with seniors almost every single day. I think the other thing is that like many other middle class and retired people, I think one of the issues is taxes. We are being forced to carry the burden for non-mandated requests like No Child Left Behind. And there are many, many seniors who are living on fixed incomes who just can't continue to have 12 or 15% increases in their taxes every single year.
Okay, great. Well, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Great interview.
Good.